And another thing that I mentioned is next to the Zapatilla tree is his generator, I think, right? That's the generator that he built. That's the generator that he built in 1920 in the first location. That's an AC generator. And this is the reason that people come to study the castle too. Because AC generator that he built with car parts like he did, the only person that used to do experiments with AC current and the inventor of AC current was Nikola Tesla. He was the only one that did experiments before 1900s inclusive. And there's a lot of information, a lot of the inventions that he did patterned already in Europe in that time. That's the reason that he came here to work with Edison, because he was already known in Europe. But maybe Ed was a fan of Nikola Tesla, but the question is how he got information. Because you will find that there was articles about Tesla, but not articles to explain in detail, how to build a generator like he did. So he was participating of the warfare and all that. But
so it was a working unit, not an experimental unit.
Mm-hmm. You can move it. You can rotate it and look under it to see how it moves. You see on the bottom?
Yep.
It's on
Don't be
a
afraid.
crankshaft.
You can move it. You can move it.
It's a car crankshaft.
Yeah. I said that he built it with junk, right?
Junk, yeah.
That's what is amazing. That's the only thing that we can tell you, yes, he built it with car parts. Now, we cannot tell you 100% sure that he followed the pattern of Tesla. I mean, looks like he's following the pattern of Tesla. Looks like he was a fan of Tesla. But we are not sure about it.
But it was a working unit, so
yeah,
that's the most important part.
Yes, exactly. And that's the metal sticks that I mentioned before. He had one here, and the other one was behind you. But that one broke. But you see where it was the other one, right here.
Mm-hmm.
See? That's how he used to create the Faraday cell, the blockage. You need to create the blockage, otherwise whatever you are doing here will go out from the room, because this is a tiny room. Now, these lines that you see here are the same lines that you see outside in the quarry. And that's leaf springs, wedges from cars. Now, he will use the leaf springs, but how do you cut the piece from underneath? Especially 28 tons, the obelisks. How do you cut that piece, put it in a truck, and load it from a truck in such a short time? Because that's the 30 minutes that he took to unload the piece, right?
He didn't get any help from the driver.
No. And you know, it's very weird, especially because, like I said, I mean, everybody used to spy on him. He was too weird. He was a guy that was coming from a country involved in the Second World with Russia. Homestead Air Base is right here. So obviously at the beginning they were very suspicious. Why? Because he had a lot of frequencies. Now we have computers. We have special microchips that, you know, protect whatever they are doing. But before, when you hit the perfect frequency, you will be able to hear anything, right? That's why inclusive you will find in the museum here in Homestead that the chief of police came here to investigate him when Ed was alive, because he wanted to know why he had so many wires, what he was doing here. I mean, it's normal. Everybody used to know each other, and all of a sudden, here I am, you know, a weird guy like he was. I mean, I come from another country, and I will do exactly the same. I will be like, what is that guy doing? How he moved the pieces? Is he spy or not? I mean, we put that in the video of Carl Castle, like in a funny way, because that video is more for kids. I will say personal. That movie is great to have, you know, to watch it with a family for the kids. But for adults, I would say that the only thing that is good there is basically all the people that knew it, like the daughter of the mayor of Coral Gable. Elisa Jones is a person that met Ed, and she was a teenager. She's a Cuban American lady, and she comes here very often, and you will see she's a person really to admire. She still uses heels, a tobacco, with an attitude, you know, but she's great. She's a nice lady, and she talks with all the customers. You know, if she was here, she would be talking with you about, oh, it was awesome. He was, you know, he used to allow us here to roast the hot dogs, and you know, she remembered a lot of the things. Memories come to her mind.
But
so a lot of
he
people,
never married again. Well,
no,
he never married for the first time.
No, he never got married. Never. They never met any girl that Ed used to say, oh, I like that girl. Never. So, this
Maybe he
means...
turned gay after that sour situation.
I hope not.
All by himself.
Look, his preference, maybe he was, I don't know. But hey, he was a smart guy. That's the important thing. He was a very smart guy. And you have here pine trees, 7 beams, again, hard like a rock, right? Now a person alone, we know that they use it for construction here, but you see every empty space perfectly. How he's going to do that? One person. Move it here, we put it on tripod, but then he has to lift it up and put it in the right position. How he's going to do that? These are the real windows. Now we replace it for a model screen. And a piston, a manual driller, what he used to use to sharp his tools. Actually, in my country, they used to use to sharp the kitchen knife, right, in the streets. And for the wires, to make it flat. Get buckets of water, fill it up from the well to any place that he will need it. Here. A job, right?
Maybe he was an alien.
Who knows, right? Look, I think that it's a technique that he learned from his family. Well, we all the tour guides, we're doing research about his, to back up the family history of it. We think that he learned it from his family. But regarding if he was an alien or not, my question about it, I would be pretty sure that he learned it from his family. But how that technique arrived to here, to the Egyptians, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. If that here exists, you know, if you're mentioning that that's a technique. If there is a technique, I haven't seen one video in YouTube showing one man using all the techniques that you are mentioning, or the techniques he used. I haven't seen one guy moving 8 tons using that
That's why.
frequencies. I haven't seen one. And I'm in the TV industry, so
That's why.
I
That's
haven't
why.
seen it.
There is people that is trying to do replicas, but I mean of different sites.
One guy doing what you say, he will be rich. You know, let me show you what this guy did.
You know, I think that he had so much knowledge, and unfortunately, if you learn something, a technique that you can use, or he's doing something for a specific reason, sometimes if the knowledge go into the wrong hands, can be used for bad reasons. If he really found perpetual motion, I mean, that could be not good for something else, if going through war or something like that, you know. So, I would say that he had his reasons for why he didn't share to everybody the secrets.
He never wrote anything down, lab notes or anything like that?
No.
Wow.
But the technique, although we cannot see it, it was here, because then how we explain the old sites, how we explain Chichen Itza, how we explain, you know,
That's the thing.
how we explain it.
That's the thing.
That ratchet right there is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because that'll allow you to hold something fixed while you move something else. You could lever in something, you know, and then use that to hold everything in place like a lock.
Yes, you can, but how many tons do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, how much
That can
tonnage
hold
load could
that
it
can
hold?
A lot.
You know,
The weakest link is the wood.
in Chile there is the La Isla de Pascua. You know, we all know all those stones are not from that island. They came on a boat,
Yeah.
but the boats at that time were not capable to carry that load.
Yeah.
You know, so nobody knows. It's a mystery. There is no technique, not even a technique for that. How those stones were transported to that island using the boats at that time.
Exactly.
I wonder where the rest of that is.
The what?
The remaining parts. Because I can see how you could generate an alternating current with that.
Uh-huh.
But you have to have a transformer that will fit inside.
I know. Well, I know that there's some pieces that we don't have it anymore, that they were installed during the year the casa was abandoned. The casa was abandoned from 1951 to at the end of 1951 and all 1952. There was nobody here.
Okay, so some of the pieces were taken.
Yeah. Now who take it? I don't know. Maybe people that wanted to
Well,
sell it to survive.
Right, copper was valuable. The rest of it had to be made out of copper.
Now, when you guys go upstairs, you are allowed to go upstairs. Everything is original. I will tell you what you see upstairs. You have 4 windows. You